folks, welcome to another year of GIWL and the 2024 GIWL Draft. We have 12 picks today of the 5 teams welcoming the Generals to the draft for the first time. 13 prospects. One person will go undrafted, probably will get signed as a UDFA. As you know, for a while, after a wild free agency, the Nighthawks and Aiden Ianco are on the clock. Now, you know, Aiden Ianco looking to redeem himself from the playoffs. What do you think they're looking for here with this first overall pick?
You know, I have absolutely no clue who they're going to take.
Yeah, so...
They need a second arm, and they need a bat, and they need everything. Considering the fact that a certain individual played exceptionally well in the playoffs, I think he needs a player that can be his go-to guy, and I think he's going to take him at number 1.
Yeah, just needs a guy that knows what he's doing, that can jump in right away, take on the role, especially if he misses the entire month of July, almost like he missed the playoffs, except he was actually playing. But if there's nothing really much else to say, we can kind of just bring him on.
Yeah.
And the Nighthawks for the first overall pick.
With the first pick of the 2024 GIWL Draft, the Nighthawks proudly select Mariano Natty, Kenmore West High School.
Banger to start off the draft here, folks. I know this is not a very familiar name to any of the people watching, but let me introduce you to Mo Natty, the number 1 overall pick in the 2024 GIWL Draft. Stud baseball player for Ken West, and is very experienced compared to the rest of the prospects in terms of the game of wiffle ball. He absolutely can and will pitch and bat this year. Expect him to be easily the most high volume second arm in the league, and he could even possibly take the starting pitcher role from Aiden Ianco, depending on certain factors. But this is a great pick. Aiden Ianco needed a franchise guy to put them back in any form of contention, and he absolutely knocked it out of the park here. Great pick, number 1.
All right, we're here with Mo, first overall pick in 2024. You're a very new prospect to the scene, but came in right away as the favorite to go number 1. You got a big role to take on here in the Nighthawks ball club as they're looking to make a run this year. What role are you looking to fill, and just having a good, looking to make a good rookie of the year campaign this year?
Looking to be the number 1 in the rotation. I got a pretty good arm. We got a couple good arms on our team. You know, Aiden himself over there, big smile on his face. You know, I'm just looking to be a utility player. You know, do my job.
All right. That's Mo, folks, number 1 overall pick in 24.
Thank you.
Big roll. Now, that was a fairly obvious first overall pick 2 years in a row. And now the Aces are on the clock following one of the trades of all time that took place during the offseason with the Aces and the Bandits. Torin, you have a second year in a row with a high pick. What are you looking for here?
I mean, Nate and I are going to be pitching well, so I need a bat, I need some speed, and I think this guy's going to help us out quite a bit.
All right, let's get to the pick. Not much else to say.
With the second overall pick in the 2024 GIWL Draft, Aces Wiffle Ball is proud to select Joey Holman, Kenmore West High School.
Great get for the Aces here as they select the original number 1 overall favorite, Joey Holman, with the second pick. The Brady Hillman trade paying off really well there, completely flipping the value and getting a generational player for someone who was probably underwhelming in a lot of categories when you look at the statistics. Joey Holman is also a Ken West baseball player, can absolutely hit for both contact and power, can field, and might even be able to be worked into the pitching rotation a little bit. He's got a nasty knuckleball, and just things from baseball mechanics will come into play. He also has a lot of passion for the game, and he's ready to make an impact in 2024.
That was a really solid pick there. Aces Super Team 2024. It's going to be a deadly squad. And now we bring the Nighthawks back up for the number 3 pick. Ianco here claims that he has a bit of like a wild card, unsuspecting player that we have ranked pretty low that he's thinking about taking here. Just a guy that we're sleeping on. Who do you think that could be? What do you think the role would be?
Honestly, I have no clue. He hasn't given me any hints. He's got one player in this draft, but he has a later pick, so I think he's going to take him there. But as of right now, I think he's just going to try to grab someone who can hit decently or do anything to help provide to that team chemistry that the Nighthawks have been looking for so long.
Yeah, they still need a bat because John Martinez's struggles at the plate last year were very apparent. So they need a third bat here, and the number 3 pick's a good one. I think the hitting in this draft's very deep, but we're gonna bring Ianco on for the 3rd overall pick.
With the 3rd pick of the GIWL draft, the Nighthawks proudly select Nick Holman.
As if this rivalry didn't need any more fuel to its fire, the Nighthawks draft brother of Joey Holman, Nick Holman, who was drafted to the Aces with the number 3 overall pick here. Nick, once again, another Ken West baseball stud. This guy hits bombs. I'm unclear how much he'll be able to pitch or if Aiden Ianco will even need to work him into the pitching rotation. He'll definitely play a big role in the field and at the plate. And the Nighthawks are trying to form a big 3 of some young players and also have some nice depth in the pitching rotation with John Martinez, who we can't forget, and the number 9 overall pick later on. The Nighthawks are quietly building a potential World Series contender in front of our very eyes, only having 2 players on the roster coming into the draft. Aiden Ianco has nailed it so far.
That was an interesting pick. I didn't think he was going that direction. Now we got brothers Nick versus Joey, rookie brothers facing off for their opening day games, week 2. But now we have the Bandits on the clock who, there's some solid guys they can take here. That's definitely the person they wanted at the 4, that Ianco swoops in, takes at the 3, that we didn't actually think he was going to take at the 3. I'm not sure where Jack's mind is here. He needs someone that he's going to have to really work in the second arm. He's going to have to practice with whoever this is. And if they don't, then the Bandits,
Their hopes are going to collapse.
Very similar course to last year, and that was 6 wins. They could win even less this year with that. But we're going to bring Jack up now for the 4th pick.
With the 4th pick of the GIWL draft, I pick Mike Green.
The Bandits had some large holes to fill, obviously, and they get a huge potential franchise guy in Mike Green here. This freak of nature was the first person to enter the 2024 draft pool while the 2023 season was still going on. He showed interest in playing in the league, and now he's made his way onto the scene and has the biggest opportunity of anyone in the draft, in my opinion, just because of how open the Bandits' roles are and how much talent they really need. They're going to need all their guys they draft here tonight to step up. Mike Green, assuming he can hit for power and possibly pitch, but they're mainly going to need his bat and just his attendance. And I think he'll play a big role for the Bandits as they're looking to just do anything they can to stay in contention with the rest of these teams this year.
That was a solid pick. I think the best pick that he could have went with there. Draft's kind of flying through as it starts to get in towards the mid-form. But here, the Generals, first ever draft pick for them. This is pretty prestigious. Whoever goes, they have some studs in Jake and Kazel, and then their free agency as well. But this guy's really going to round off the roster whoever they take. And there's really nice names on this board right now. What are you thinking about the pick?
I don't think he's going to take a pitcher. I think he's going to go for someone with a bat. Ben and Jake have probably the 2 best arms in the league, and then besides Brandon. And then you've also got John Hassan, who is not a terrible second arm himself. So all you're going to have to do is get a bat and hopefully hope for the best.
I mean, depending on who they take here, he could also fill in that second arm role as well.
He
but,
definitely could.
We're going to bring John Hassan up for his first ever draft pick.
With the 1st pick in Generals history and the 5th pick in GIWL's 2024 draft, I select Brody Herman.
The Generals here with, in my opinion, the steal of the draft and someone I definitely wanted to fall to my Cats at 6. So much so that the Aces were scouting this guy at number 2. He now falls to number 5 to the Generals, as if they didn't already need anyone else. Brody Herman, this guy is once again a baseball player, does not play for Ken West, but he has just all the intangibles you want for a guy that you want to select with this lower first round pick here. He's really going to round out that hitting lineup. I'm unclear what he can do on the pitching side of things. I don't really know if the Generals need much pitching at this point anyway. And he's just seemed very committed to everything and was one of the few people that showed up on draft night, which is a huge plus, and seemed enthusiastic on playing on the new team. Once again, big role, a lot of opportunity there in the camo green, and I'm sure John Hassan is ecstatic about this pick. All gas, no brakes.
All right, we're here. Brody Herman, 5th overall pick. You're a new player on a new team, so roles are wide open for what you can do. Just how are you looking to contribute this year?
Just wherever they need me. Hopefully I could be a solid bat in the order. Just contribute wherever I can, I guess.
All right, and what do you got to say to your captain here for a first impression?
Just thanks for making me the first pick in Generals history, and hopefully we can do a lot of winning this year.
Awesome. Brody Herman, folks. All right, first pick in Generals history. Probably a banger there.
Yeah,
I mean, Brody's
solid pick.
going to be really great in this league, I think. Someone I definitely wanted in this pick, but now the champs are on the clock. And I think I know who I'm taking here. Back-to-back picks. 2 guys I kind of wanted, 2 guys I'm looking to work with, 2 guys with baseball experience can round out the lineup. They're friends with players on my team already.
Yep.
Happy to have them on board, but we'll start off with number 6.
Who's that?
With the 6th pick in the 2024 GIWL draft, your defending 2023 World Series champion Fisher Cats select Brett Petrick and outfielder Ken West High School.
Brett Petrick here to my Cats. I follow the trend of Ken West baseball players. This kid's going to play a big role in our hitting lineup for sure, because we need an extra bat to really round things out. I'm going to be working with him a lot. I'm going to have Silver Slugger Matt Hooten working with him a lot, just to get familiar with pitching tendencies and stuff. But this guy's got all the capabilities to be a star hitter, whether he's getting hits, working walks, whatever. I see him being a pretty high OBP guy and just a reliable person that you can throw anywhere in the lineup and he will produce. So very excited about this pick.
With the 7th pick of the 2024 GIWL draft, the Fisher Cats select Braden Hess.
Here's another pick I'm stoked about as my Cats finish off our 2024 draft selecting Braden Hess, 7th overall. A guy with baseball experience and huge team chemistry with guys on my team, as well as Brett Petrick. A lot of guys just know each other on this team, which is something I've always really looked for. Braden can absolutely do it on the hitting and fielding side of the ball. The only question mark would be some attendance, just because of some things that are coming up during the summer for him. But I'm confident he'll be able to play the role he needs to play, show up when he can, and really just try to help us defend the ring, as he seems really excited to put on blue this year. So we're excited to have you on board.
All right, folks, we're moving on. Well, I guess the 7th was technically the first one of the 2nd round, even though we're not really doing rounds this year. We have the Aces on the clock here for the 8th overall pick. You had some trade talks in the back there with the Generals. Did anything get done?
Yes.
Oh, folks, we have a first ever live draft trade. What is John Hassan cooking?
John, come here.
Come up here. Announce the trade.
Hands
I'll
up,
stand
hands
off
up.
to the side.
Can I read it? Let me read it, please. All right. The Aces are trading the 8th overall pick, a conditional first round in the 2025 draft, and a swap of second rounds in the 2025 draft for Landon Gudano. Generals are on the clock.
So we're here. John, you're cooking on draft night. I'm sure Jake and Kazel are proud. You now have the 8th and 10th pick in this draft, trading away newly signed free agent Landon Gudano. What were you thinking here, and what are you looking for with this pick?
Well, my team, I'm known. I like to take risks, and I know as a new, manager, it's going to be a little bit harder to get players to want to come to you. So you kind of just got to, in a way, force them to come to you. And I kind of wanted to make a splash in this year's draft. So I just kind of decided to scrap the whole Landon Guadagno, trying to get him off of and send him over to the Aces. That's their problem for this year. I think Tornroth will be able to develop him more, but I get 3 draft picks out of it, so that's a great thing. So 4 players for 1.
Yeah. All right. Generals with the 8th pick.
With the 8th overall pick in the 2024 GIWL draft, the Generals select Brock Hillman.
So after that wild trade, the Generals take a risk on a guy that, in my opinion, has a lot of upside, and I think I probably underrated on the board a little bit in Brock Hillman, brother of Bandits and 2023 Gold Glove winner Brady Hillman. Brock plays travel ball, so we'll definitely see him incorporated into the batting lineup. However, Jonathan wants to use him in terms of playing time, we will see, but I feel like he's going to be an underrated, reliable option, and especially working with guys like Jake and Kazel could be a key piece. He's also very young, which means he could be in this league for years to come. Great pick there.
All right, so that was an unexpected trade and maybe even an even more unexpected pick. I guess John saw something in Brock there. Brock going higher than expected. Good for him. The Aces trading their future for some experienced talent in the league. And now we have the Nighthawks on the clock for the 9th pick. There's a name here that's pretty obvious, but I don't know if they're going to take him at this point. This draft's been crazy.
I don't know. This draft has been a lot more interesting than last year. Last year it was all just find whatever it was in the draft order and just pick from there. And now it's reaches, drops. It's going to be fun.
All right, let's bring him on.
With the 9th overall pick of the GIWL draft, the Nighthawks proudly select Nick Ristelli.
Very similar pick here to the Brock Hillman pick. Nick Ristelli is young, brother of someone in the league. He's the younger stepbrother of Landon Guadagno and also plays travel ball. Aiden Ianco was super enthusiastic to get this pick when he saw he was still on the board, and Nick Ristelli apparently was very excited to put on Nighthawk Orange. He went to 1 series last year in 2023, obviously to support his brother Landon, who was on the Nighthawks, and it was the regular season series where the Nighthawks would sweep the Aces to finish the season 9-9. Apparently from that point on, Nick Ristelli fell in love with the Nighthawks ball club, and he seems very excited to put on orange this season. He's got a solid bat. He can give you some fielding, I believe, just due to the baseball experience. That's probably going to come into play there. And the Nighthawks, they have a really nice core now, and teams are definitely going to have to approach them differently than they did pre-draft. Aiden Ianco probably won the 2024 draft with this pick. Alright folks, quick update here on this pick. Due to some unforeseen and sudden circumstances regarding the selection, and voted upon by all 5 captains, including Jonathan, this pick, 10th overall pick by the Generals, and its selection will be officially voided from the 2024 GIWL draft. This is very sudden, very weird, and might not make a lot of sense to anyone watching, and we hope to never have to repeat this again. But once again, it was just due to some unforeseen, very sudden, and very serious circumstances regarding the selection. The league will not be commenting further on the matter, and we look forward to a great 2024 season. Thank you.
Now the Bandits have 2 picks here to really round off their team that's been kind of bare bones, but there are 2 players here that fell that I thought definitely could have went higher, one of which went to the Combine. I don't know how much Jack saw of him, but he's definitely a committed guy. And then another one's a bit of a raw talent. And then you also have another option with Joe Caseri, who's re-entering the draft. You could see a wild card of him getting taken there too. But
it's all up to Jack at this point. Jack just needs to round out his team, and with these last 2 picks, that's what he's going to do.
Yeah, here we go. Let's bring him on for 11.
With the 11th pick of the GIWL Wiffle Ball draft, I pick Jacob Nice.
Bandits get a nice value pick here in Jacob Nice, a sneaky athletic player. He's really tall. He plays Ken West volleyball, and he's a guy that's just going to be able to fill in any role you really need him to. And the Bandits are just kind of going to be looking to throw guys out there and see what they can do to try and put something together. This is a guy that I thought could have went a lot higher in the draft, so I'm sure Jack Roth is excited to have him on board, excited to work with him. And we'll just see where this franchise goes from here, but this is definitely another nice piece for them.
The GIWL last pick, it will be John Sermon.
As we all know, folks, the last time the Bandits had the Mr. Irrelevant pick, he ended up way overachieving his value in 2023, and I feel like John Sermon here has potential to replicate that. He's very committed to the game. He tried to show up to the drafts. He wasn't able to. He showed up to the combine, though, and showed some decent presence in the plate already for the first time seeing pitches, which is not easy to do at all. He's got solid hands, he's got quick hands, and he's got a good eye for the ball. And most importantly, he just wanted to go to a team that was able to give him a lot of opportunity. And I think the Bandits is, once again, the best stage for him to do so. He's really looking forward to coming to the field this year, meeting Jack, meeting his teammates. From what I've talked to him, I've practiced with him a few times, and he's really just committed to getting better. He was originally questionable on if he even wanted to play in this league, and now he's all in. And I think the Bandits, just putting on that red, will only help him further his love for the game, as it is a privilege to play with Jack Roth. But that is going to conclude the 2024 draft. Great pick there by the Bandits.
Folks, that is going to conclude the 2024 GIWL draft. We're officially going to be in swing for the 2024 season now. The teams are set, besides one UDFA who may or may not be signed. The joke is there, he finds a home after a very underwhelming season, but we hope you guys are ready for 2024. This is a wild draft, some trades before the draft, trades on draft night, unexpected picks, definitely better than last year's. We're about to film a post-draft pod. That'll be up sometime after you guys see this video. Opening day is scheduled to be played May 4th, 2024. That's the scheduled play day. As always, catch the live of those game ones on Instagram, and then the videos soon after. We'll see you guys in 2024.
Generals, Fisher Cats, week 1, baby.